needs legendary snacks.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky.
Load up on Alberta's best beef jerky. It's the perfect game day companion when you're watching from the ultimate fan cave.
Wilhauk Beef Jerky, because you can't have summer fun with salad. Only available in Leduc.
Want to invest in Alberta's workforce, fill your talent pipeline, and get funding? Careers. The next generation connects employers with motivated, pre-vetted youth through funded internships. Easy, impactful, and risk-free.
When you work with a group like Careers who have experience in that area, they can demystify and navigate all the complex steps and stakeholders that have to be involved.
Visit careersnextgen.ca today.
Kickoff is coming July 17th. Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton sports fans, stay informed
with Sports 1440. Stream us.
Listen to us on the AM dial.
However you consume this radio station, thanks for listening.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
Lux Windows was founded in 1969 with 5 people and a dream. 55 years later, our team of experts cares a whole lot about building and installing the best possible windows and doors. Because Lux is not just an Alberta-made product. We're one big Alberta-made family. Everything we are is windows and doors. A company born and bred and made in Alberta.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Show World Cup semifinal 1 hour away. The Yzer plan didn't work at all. Elks are the talk of the town. Oilers open at home against Vancouver September 29th, which is a little early for guaranteed win night, but I guess we'll take it. Lowdown with Lowetide brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Hurry in for hot summer savings, including 0% purchase financing on select models. 0%. Details at wolfgmcbuick.com. As you know, we're also live on sports1440.ca, iHeartRadio, and Radio Player Canada. After the show, Apple and Spotify podcasts, we're located there, and we tweeted out on X. By the way, our headliner of the day, Kevin McCurdy, will also have declinations at 1:40 today, rumors, and all the regular fun and frolic. We're on Twitter at Lowetide at Declan Krueger and Jay Fenwick 04. You can text us anytime. 833-401-1440, 833-401-1440. We're talking World Cup, Elks, Oilers, All-Star Game, and MLB, Jays, and things we learned online this week. I learned that Toronto skyline is beautiful, but the smoke from a distant fire can be quite eerie. It looked like Blade Runner in some of the photographs today that I saw. Right now, though, it's time for the introductions. When Netflix drops a documentary on him, it'll be about his life and what it was like before he met his girlfriend. It'll be called Decade of Darkness. Ladies and gentlemen, Josh Fenwick. Josh Fenwick, everybody.
All right, it really wasn't that bleak.
I sat here and I say, hey, anything going on? No, I'll send a resume.
God forbid a guy be doing nothing, like go home, watch sports, whatever. Now I just go to her house and watch sports.
It's a big change,
Big
because
change.
you got to use a coaster, and sometimes you have to bring the Pepsi.
I don't think there's a single coaster in that apartment. I might have more.
Oh wow, there's a shot. You sure
Wow,
you
it's
wanted to
not
go that way?
It's not a shot at her.
Got clean towels or anything, or it's all good that?
Yeah.
Okay, good. When Netflix drops a documentary on him, it'll be about his obsession with the Miami Heat. It'll be called The King of South Beach if South Beach was on the banks of the North Saskatchewan River. Ladies and gentlemen, it's Declan Krueger. Declan Krueger, everybody.
I mean, it's another good intro.
There you go.
It's really, I like it. No notes.
One in a row.
No, you do. You bat like 800 with these intros. I'll speak for myself.
I will tell you, Mackenzie helped me with that one. She helped me with the idea of the documentary.
So she was like, she pinch hit a little bit.
Totally.
Right.
She's a bright person. So you ask the bright people for ideas, and she came up with a good one, and I appreciate that. Okay. Where do we want to start? I'm excited about this. England has a chance to win, which is exciting. But England, when they lose, man, it is epic. We will talk about, maybe the second hand of God will show up today, or maybe it'll be on penalty kicks, and the veterans will refuse to take it because they're too, nervous. England, man, what kind of chance, Declan, do they have chance to win this? Are you all in on Argentina, or do you think England could?
No, I think they absolutely can win this game. I actually think they have a more talented team all the way through.
And
I think England is right there. It's tough because England has such a connotation surrounding them, and rightfully so. They haven't won the World Cup since 1966. You look at that golden generation with Becks and Gerrard and Lampard and Rio and John Terry, and they didn't win anything. So they rightfully so have a reputation of just coming up short. And I think we associate that with the team. I'm not even going to say unfairly so. We just associate it with the team. And now you see them in a spot where they actually might be able to get to the final, and we just can't believe it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think they're right there. I think they have a more talented roster. They're going to have to play within Tommy Tuchel's system, but they have as good a chance. Like this game to me, 50-50. I'm calling it 50-50.
Beautiful. I love that. Those are the best kinds of games, right? Because you just never know.
Mm-hmm.
Steve Yzerman has been promoted/demoted. He's no longer the general manager. I wrote about it on the blog today. Darcy Regier, like in 2004 or 6, somewhere in there, he said that he had talked to Bill Torrey and Al Arbor of the Islanders when he was there. And he said, why are the Islanders so successful? And Al Arbor said that Bill Torrey told him, there's no secret formula. It's just get good players and keep good players. And just like the Oilers after 06 until really, I don't know how many years after McDavid showed up, that they started, being consistent and getting into the playoffs and having success. It took a long time. And the Detroit Red Wings under Steve Yzerman were just bad, and they continued to be bad. Their evaluation was poor. They were gifted in the hours after he was named general manager. Seider, the defenseman, Mo Seider is a brilliant, franchise defender, and they still couldn't do a blasted thing with him. So this is long overdue. I thought Yzerman was a wonderful player. He did great work in Tampa Bay. But you have to give him an F as GM in Detroit. What did he do well?
Well, listen, there's no question he was too long at the fair, and he did not do a great job in Detroit. But we had this conversation a little bit out at the bar. We said we were going to bring it to air. I give him credit for the Mo Seider draft. Well, Lucas Raymond as well, but we were specifically talking about they had a problem drafting and developing defensemen, which overall was true. But he did draft one of the best shutdown defensemen in the NHL.
He showed up like a month before. The draft was already set.
It was 2 months before. It was 2 months. Like 2 months isn't 2 days. And you made the point that we're going to give head scout Tyler Wright a lot of credit, which I also absolutely agree with. He was, I'm sure, a huge catalyst in that decision. But I think it's unfair to say a guy that was on the job, like it wasn't 2 days. He was there 2 months. He was there 2 months. Like he had input in that draft, and that was his final pick. And like people wanted Zegras, people wanted Cousins. He went with Mo Seider, and I give him credit for that.
I can't. I'm sorry, I can't.
But so you just think all of the credit goes to Tyler Wright or Chris Ilitch?
I don't think all of the credit goes to Ken Holland, who was there for the entire year. And I don't think all of the credit goes to Steve Yzerman. Yzerman, he would have been, my memory says he would have been aware of Seider because he would have been in Tampa Bay. but I don't think he was chief scout, so he may not have seen Seider as much as Wright or whomever was looking at Seider at the time. I just think it's a stretch. I really do. Now, when Holland got here, he talked about Philip Broberg all the time, and they drafted Philip Broberg, so he put his stamp on it. But I just think that you have to. It's a stretch to say Yzerman would have gotten in there and said, no, we're not taking the guys you want. We're taking this guy because I know he's great. Everybody knew he was great. He was a great prospect.
Yeah, but like, I mean, so if that's the conversation, it's like, do we just never give general managers credit during drafts? Like it's only on the scouts?
No, I think if you
Like,
have
he
a
didn't-
full year, then you give Peter Chiarelli, or I'm sorry, Stan Bowman was hired in August of 2024. So the 2025 draft, which was a really good draft, even though they didn't have a first or second round pick, I would give him some credit for that.
Well, but Steve Yzerman, he was hired what? He was hired in April of 2019?
Yeah, late April of
Yeah,
2019.
like, don't you think that entire 2-month period was focusing on the draft and what he was going to do because he knew he needed to make a splash?
I when you walk in and you've got all the things to take care of, I honestly don't think that. I think you are aware of the draft, and you would have been aware of the draft numbers or rankings in Tampa Bay, but I think unless we have evidence that, like, we have evidence with Ken Holland. The word cloud in Edmonton before Holland got here in late April of 2019 did not have Philip Broberg. And then immediately at his first media avail, he was standing by a tree at a golf course. And he said, Philip Broberg is a guy that I like. And I'm like, what the hell? He's talking in a way that no other GM has. So I remember that. And I give Ken Holland credit for that. Because I do think that list probably changed after he got here. But we have no evidence that happened for Yzerman. And I think that based on his record, I think that he's okay. His drafting was not terrible. It wasn't awful.
Yeah, like I was
going to
say, what about Simon Edvinsson?
Yeah, no, I'm not saying that he was not a good general manager. They couldn't evaluate defensemen were the tinker's dam. But having said that, I'm not saying that the drafts were just nothing for Detroit. I'm saying that it's a stretch to give him credit for Seider.
I really got to disagree. I get where you're coming from.
No,
like,
that's
no
okay.
question.
And I respect your opinion. And why don't we do a poll on this thing?
I'll throw it up right now.
All right.
You got to retweet it, though.
Yeah, I will do that. No problem at all. But, I mean, one thing I know is Oiler fans aren't going to give Tyler Wright credit, but it'll be interesting to see what we come. Yzerman could have wanted Seider when he was with Tampa Bay as well. He just brought that over to Detroit and drafted him. Sure, we can say he did that, but do we have evidence of it? Without evidence, and maybe there is evidence that I haven't seen. So send me the link and I'll absolutely read it on the air, and then I'll say young Declan is correct, and not for the first time, let me say. All right, Yzerman's interesting. The Oilers are, they got money in the bank. They've got opportunity. I wrote at The Athletic today about something Glenn Sather used to do around this time of the year often is he'd look for players who were kind of viewed as being maybe not what they were supposed to be, like Matt Poitras in Boston with the Bruins. And he's a right-handed center. Remember, he came in as a flat-out rookie just out of junior. He played 33 games in 23-24, and he scored 15 points, had a 57% goal share, 2.0 points per 60 at 5-on-5. And he looked like he was going to be something else. And at that time, they just lost Patrice Bergeron, and people were saying, God, they got another kid out of the queue, and it looks like he's going to do something. Well, as it turned out, he had a different career path. But now, he spent most of last year in the AHL. Boston's still saying the right things about him, and they may never let him go. But I think it's worth a phone call. And that's the kind of thing I think the Oilers should be doing. Mantha signed today. Were you surprised by the amount he signed with?
I thought maybe he would have gotten a little more, but honestly, like, he was this year's Rostovich. I think we were the ones that were talking about that on the show, or you and Donovan anyways. So maybe I shouldn't be as surprised by, what's the total number? 2.425 million a year, something like that, or is 4.75?
4.75 the AAV.
Oh, well,
that's not bad.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah. Honestly, I thought maybe I'm on an island here. Listen, it's really tough to tuck 30. I thought he would have got like 6 on a 1-year deal.
Yeah, but you can't tuck one in the playoffs.
That's
he would have
so
if he
fair.
had a little
That's
better
so
playoff
fair.
record, and he also has had some injuries. So like there's a downbeat on this thing too. But I think New Jersey did fine. but I also think he did pretty well. I was a little surprised it was as low as it was. I thought he'd get 5.5.
Yeah, I think my projection or what I thought he would get was like 6, but.
And the Roslovic is still out there. There's going to be somebody who has real value who doesn't get signed until late August or into September, and that guy's going to score 20 goals. We just don't know the name of the guy or where he's going.
I don't know, probably Carolina.
Team Dean says, I was at a Red Wings game last year, Skinner's last Oilers game. I was very impressed with their team. Their defense is all mutants that can move. This team needs a real coach and figure out their goaltending. This could very well be a Sabres situation. Well, I'll be interested in the new general manager. This is a bad time to go shopping ordinarily, but maybe they have somebody in mind. Maybe it's an internal choice. It's, the Red Wings are kind of a family. That's why it wasn't surprising to me that they bumped him upstairs. They did the same thing with Ken Holland. And then Holland eventually took the job here in Edmonton. I can't remember how many months later. Might have lasted pretty much the whole year there in Detroit. I can't remember.
Gazzola thinks maybe Horkoff will move into the GM spot.
Horkoff, bright guy. Wonderful hockey player. All right, I'm retweeting it now. I'm also going to vote.
Well,
there, I voted.
Don't love the sound of that.
All right. Listen, we've talked about them this week, and we're getting closer. But I do want to talk about Elks Lions and then Elks Rough Riders ×2 as the rest of July and into August rolls out. If you had to lay down, a bet today on who finishes first in the West, who would it be?
The Elks.
Nice. Why?
I think they're a little bit more complete defensively. Like, I think Saskatchewan, if I had to pick a game that went into a shootout and I was like, this game, before the game, it's got to finish 50-48. Who are you picking? I think I probably pick Edmonton. If I have to go into a game with those two where it has to finish 14-12, I'm definitely picking Edmonton. Right. So I just think Edmonton has more ways to win games. I think they can win close games that are defensive battles, and I think they can offensively put some big things on the back of Justin Rankin or Austin Mack, maybe Cody Fajardo a little bit less so, but I just think they're more versatile in their way to win games, and that's why I picked them.
Do you give credit to the Rough Riders for having, it seems like, more receiver options that can...
Yep, absolutely. That's a great take, and that's absolutely true. And I think like Trevor Harris... Him and Cody are you'd probably rather have Trevor Harris, but I don't it's not a wash. Cody's right there. And these two games are going to tell us a lot. Like, obviously they got to play BC first. You got to get past them, but those two back-to-backs against Saskatchewan are going to tell us a lot. And those could be narrative changing games.
Yeah. Okay, this is, I got a couple of weather things. Is that okay? I know this isn't sports, but
knock yourself out. It's the summertime.
Stella on our sister station was talking about on Yellowhead, a couple of overpasses were flooded today. And I drove by the Sturgeon today, and it's even higher, I believe. No, I didn't have my slide rule, my yardstick out, but it seems like it's higher. So be careful out there. This is, wild weather. And also in Toronto, it really, I mentioned at the top, it did look like Blade Runner, both versions, although the Harrison Ford movie is better. Can we agree?
Harrison Ford's in both movies.
Well, the first one.
He's in
better.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. He's not in both first ones.
No.
Is Sean Young in the second one?
Who?
Nothing. Due to the orange air quality warning in Toronto, today's FIFA Fan Fest has been canceled. And it we joke about Toronto and we, call it names because it's the center of the universe, but it really does look scary there. So our thoughts are with the folks in Toronto. Be safe. And Declan and I don't know about Josh, we understand about breathing issues and when the air quality isn't great. So our hearts go out to everybody there who probably is not having a terrific day and is a little bit gun shy about going out. How much have you heard chatter-wise about the hand of God goal and about the fact that it counted and Argentina beat England? Because I thought it would be a bigger story by now than it has been. I'm just, observing it Did you think it would be a bigger deal? Is it just too long ago? Nobody even remembers it.
It's actually playing on the TV right now.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, that's the goal of the century.
Right, that's
the
right.
goal. They're running that one. But
The goal we were referring to did happen before that.
Yeah, it was the same game. It was, what was it, 40 years ago?
86 or
yeah,
88?
it was 86. Yeah, 40 years ago.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm sure it comes up a lot more on Argentinian and English sports radio. Here, we're probably just not as exposed to it.
That's probably true.
It's been brought up a lot by Declan this last week, though.
No.
I haven't brought it up that much.
I brought it up.
Declan was literally talking about it at the bar earlier.
Oh, well,
Was
I mean,
it? No, I don't think I was.
Declan talks about a lot of things at the bar. But we're not talking about a bar where you go to a bar at 7 o'clock.
No, that's exactly what we're talking about. We got ice cold kokanee bottles in the work fridge. We just cracked those open before we come on air.
Before you started, maybe even when you were here, but there was like alcohol. Like all
I believe you.
Yeah.
This used to be an actual bar. It was Palladium.
Yeah. I was here 100 years ago. It was, I remember like
Back in
when
your
the first
mid-30s.
karaoke came into this place. Yeah. I used to live in West Edmonton Village. Relatives would come into town and we'd bring them to the mall and they could see flamingos and various other,
Did you guys walk over?
Actually, I don't think we always did. We probably drove a lot because then we would be going somewhere else.
Fair enough.
It's
just such a cluster driving from around here. Yesterday, okay, sorry, I know we have to take a break, but I have to get this off my chest.
This is Josh and his life.
I have to get that. So yesterday I was turning out, like when you go down the ramp and you turn left.
Did you look before you drove?
I looked before I drove. Also,
Sure.
there's no crosswalk there. But because of the construction and just like the way the turn works is the people that come up from under the parkade,
they have to go
they're
there.
on the inside lane, but they have to change lanes into the construction lane or to the turn lane because the lane they turn into ends.
It's a cluster bleep.
It is an absolute cluster. So yesterday I was at the front, but the inside people, obviously just the way it works, they get ahead of me, but not by much. So I'm turning and the car, there was two cars. The first one gets in front of me, whatever. I'm literally in the middle of the turn, as is the lady that is driving next to me. And she immediately tries to change lanes and almost hits my car. And what do? You lay on the horn. She stays in the lane and then she goes 2 lanes down just to drive up and get my eye view to give me the bird. Where do you get the gall of trying to run me off the road and then say I'm the one that's being a bad driver? How dare you?
You know
Anyways.
what I would like to do is find that woman and give her some stuff, items from the radio station and maybe some gift certificates, and because somebody who gives you the bird in the wild, that's pretty awesome.
Well, I gave it right back to her
Oh, yeah, I
because like
imagine.
she tried to hit me, and then I had some choice words just for my windshield afterwards. But
I'm walking here. Did
Yeah.
you get really mad? Did you say stuff? And
well, I didn't like roll down the window and start yelling expletives at her, but I was fuming for a little
you
bit.
got out, didn't you?
Yeah, I actually got out and broke her windshield.
He didn't. He's kidding, everybody. Please keep your traffic tempers to Declan levels, no higher than that. All right.
It's a bad example.
On the way, we have Kevin McCurdy at 1. We have Declinations. What's coming up on Declinations?
Yeah, so of course Wednesdays, Duncan with Declan. Summer is when we kind of start to shift the schedule a little bit more. We won't do it quite yet, but eventually Thursdays will become Declan CFL or Declan CAA again. Wednesdays will kind of transition to a CFL segment. But yeah, we'll talk a little bit. Not much going on. Kawhi Leonard's second investigation. We'll talk about that. We'll talk a little World Cup. We'll probably waffle.
Oh, waffling's good. The waffles are excellent. All right, rumors next. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube. Brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Come for Canada's largest trade shows, the biggest names in entertainment, exhilarating sporting events, and more. And stay for the experience at the Edmonton Expo Centre. Looking for the perfect place to host your next big event? From trade shows to galas, meetings, and concerts, the Edmonton Expo Centre has the space, event expertise, and service to make your next event unforgettable. With over 522,000 square feet of flexible event space, in-house catering, and operational expertise, they bring your biggest vision to life. Learn more at EdmontonExpoCenter.com today.
It's $1 drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees at participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
When your project can't afford downtime, call Japa Equipment Rentals. From excavators and wheel loaders to compaction equipment, Japa has the machines you need. Trusted since 1972. Visit japaequipment.com or stop by our Edmonton or Calgary locations.
If you've got a smart speaker, get it to play Sports 1440.
And it doesn't matter when you listen as we roll out the Sports Talk
24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Edmonton's home for sports radio is Sports 1440.
Legendary tier with BetMGM Casino. Download now to check out over 4,000 casino games, including exclusive slots like Survivor and hundreds of live dealer games. Unlock Vegas magic and sign up for the BetMGM app. See BetMGM.com for terms. 18 plus, Alberta only. Please play responsibly. Subject to eligibility requirements.
If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. BetMGM operates pursuant to an operating agreement with the Alberta iGaming Corporation. Standard message and data rates may apply.
Does your bank do local? We do. When you bank with Vision Credit Union, you're banking with a rural Albertan cooperative that cares about the community where you live. There's no question. We actively support our rural communities at the local level through charitable donations, volunteerism, local team and event sponsorships, and by returning millions in profit shares to our members every year. Does your bank do that? We do local. Bank with Vision Credit Union. VisionCU.ca.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Can you fit sports encyclopedia on a business card?
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. We are, 35 minutes-ish away from the second semifinal, Argentina-England at the World Cup. We'll keep you updated and, of course, talk about it. Setting up a big final. We know Spain is through. And what an effort. I mean, I went in fairly certain that France was going to win it. They have all that firepower. But Spain is so deep and so high quality that it, even though they were getting, chances, it felt like Spain was making France pay on the transition. And, in soccer, early goals tend to mean something, and they did. And did you feel France was getting frustrated at all, or what was your take on the France effort?
A little bit, for sure. Yeah. A little bit. They just Spain just plays such a great defensive system. They control things in the midfield, and then it's like you also have Nico Williams and Lamine Yamal playing on the wings. Yeah. So it's like you're in a pretty good situation, kind of anywhere the game goes if you're Spain, and that's why they were pre-tournament favorites.
Which of today's teams matches up best against Spain?
I think Argentina.
Okay.
I think Argentina.
Argentina plays loose. Like they
do.
They're they're highly creative, right? But it feels like if they're not on,
it's almost a little wild at times.
Yeah. It's like Neil Young and Crazy Horse at the Fillmore.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It is time for Rumors, brought to you by Harley Davidson of Edmonton. It's riding season, and Harley Davidson of Edmonton has your next bite waiting. A huge selection of new and pre-owned, plus test rides are available, locally owned and operated since 1980 on the Yellowhead Trail or at hdedmonton.com. We talked about this a little earlier, but the Devils have signed Anthony Mantha to a 2-year deal. It's a 4.75 AAV and a good contract, I think, for New Jersey. And I think at this point in the offseason, Mantha's probably pleased with the opportunity. It's a good team. There's a spot for him there. He's got to stay healthy, and of course, they would like him to deliver in the playoffs. And I'm sure he'd like to have 2 good seasons and then sign longer term. Steve Yzerman is going to transition out of the Red Wings GM position. That means they've moved him along without firing him. The Ilitches do this a lot, and if you want to know more about how the business was done with Dad Ilitch, Jim DeVolano wrote a wonderful book called Hockey Town, and it talks about his hiring, and then Brian Murray's hiring, Scotty Bowman, and on down the line. It's a little bit chaotic in their system, and I'm sure with younger Ilitch, Chris Ilitch, I'm sure it's a little different, but they at least didn't send him out. They kept him a la Ken Holland in 2019. And I suspect that Yzerman will not get another GM job. I don't think he did a particularly good job. How are we doing on the poll, by the way?
So as it stands right now, through about an hour, 100% of people agree with me. How about that?
It's not been an hour.
No, I'm just kidding. It's at 41% yes, 13.6% a little more toward yes, 13.6% a little more toward no, and 31.8% no. And the question being, do you give Steve Yzerman credit for drafting Mo Seider?
Yeah, I think people don't know that he was hired, not far before. The question is a leading question, lawyerly on your part. But, yeah.
Objection leading, one of the things you can't do. I don't think it's leading.
Yeah.
No, leading would be if you said you give Steve Yzerman credit for drafting Mo Seider, correct? Or like something like that.
You don't say that he was hired 2 months before the draft.
Well, that's a mission, if anything. And even I actually think that context would support me. Because 2 months is that is enough time in my mind. 2 months isn't 2 weeks.
I mean, he is the GM of record, so we give him credit. And his drafting record was not poor.
Well, and this is the other thing that a lot of people have pointed out on the text line. He Mo Seider was Craig Button, I think, had him 26. He was 15th, 16th on other boards.
He was ahead of Broberg. I know that.
He was ahead of Broberg. But he wasn't a consensus 6th overall pick.
He was high. I'll have to go back and look because I thought he was pretty high. Either way, they got a great one, and they haven't done diddly with him. The stuff is coming out now from what's occurred in Toronto with the Maple Leafs. EJ Raddick had Craig Berube on, and he says he has no hard feelings. He says he remains available. And, of course, I think on his resume, the big thing is the turnaround in St. Louis, right? They won the Stanley Cup after they looked like they were just not happening. I do think he'll get another job. Do you think he'll get another job, Josh?
Sorry, can you repeat the name one more time? Just
Craig Berube. He's it's part of the show. We have a 2-hour.
I know. Sorry, I was thinking about Steve Yzerman for a second, and I was like, well, I don't know if he'll just ever leave the. Yeah, I think Craig Berube will get another job.
Yeah,
I don't think you can pin everything that happened in Toronto on Craig Berube, but he also won a Stanley Cup, hot goaltender or not.
Yeah, no, you're right. I think that means a lot, and I do think he'll get another job. Those Stanley Cup rings, they have some cachet, as it were. I I watched the Major League Baseball All-Star Game a little bit. At a comment here, let me see if I can find it. Mikey says, Lowetide, I know you said yesterday that you would rather watch an episode of Matlock than the baseball game, but you missed a good one. I'm not sure if you mentioned this early in the show. I'm just turning in now. Mike, I watched some of it. I thought the game was basically over in the first when Sanchez got in a little trouble. Bellinger made him pay with a 2-run single. The National League struck out like a boring amount of time, and that was the ball game. The American League pitchers were brilliant. As all-star games go, I'm not going to call it a dud, but I didn't think it was. I thought the home run derby was more exciting. That's the truth. It was more entertaining.
Yeah, I don't think that's a hot take. It was Ernie Clement had the highlight of the night.
Yeah, it was a great play.
It was fantastic from Ernie. But I would say other than that, it was pretty whatever. It was on the rocks last night. Dylan Cease, no pitchergami. So pitchergami only works for starting pitchers lines.
Yeah.
Only thrown one other time. 3 Ks and one walk in 1 inning pitched. It's thrown in 1937.
Wow.
Just a fun fact.
It was just like unhittable, right?
Yeah.
It's too bad you can't pitch them for, like, if they're going like that, pitch them for a few innings.
But it's the all-star game. Like, you sort of just want to get all the all-star pitchers in there, give them all an inning. Unless one gets lit up, then have them pulled.
And then the Caminero got hit.
That's no good. Bad news.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to be back on Friday, though. But you don't like to see anybody injured.
No, particularly taking did he take a fastball to the hand?
Yeah, it's 97 miles an hour.
Just barely. It was a whisper.
We do not need a repeat of the Ray Fosse injury. So, you remember that one. Probably saw it on television.
Sure.
Major League Baseball today, something interesting happening. It's not interesting unless you know the team he was traded to. The Houston Astros have acquired Colton Gordon from Milwaukee for Lance McCullers Jr. McCullers is a injury-prone pitcher who at one time looked like he was going to be something else. And they've been trying to offload him for some time now because he struggled. He's been hurt. Nothing seems to rhyme. But when you get traded to Milwaukee, what happens, Josh, if you're a pitcher?
Pitchers start pitching really well all of a sudden. It's the crazy phenomenon.
Yeah. So watch out for McCullers in the second half.
I was thinking the exact same thing as you. It just seems like trouble.
I don't know why people trade with him. It's like, okay, what are we missing? What does McCullers do that we don't know? Before we send him, I don't want to look like a fool. And then you end up looking like a fool.
It's just the way it is. I mean, you can trade regular position players with the Brewers all you want.
Yeah.
But as soon as they call you and they're like, hey, we'll take that pitcher off your hands.
Nope.
You should turn and run the other way.
Just fire your pitching coach and then hire somebody who convinces you that they know something about the pitcher in question. Lakers, we know LeBron's not coming back. What about Bronny? Is he going to be back with the Lakers, or do we know that yet?
He's on a fully guaranteed deal now. Fully guaranteed. I think it's $2.6 million.
Nice.
So,
I'm cheering for him,
Nepo baby as hard as you can, brother.
I'm just saying, it's impossible for him to be evaluated just as a guy. He's never going to be Larry, Smith.
No, he is LeBron James Jr.
Right. So, and he's never going to be the player his dad was, but I like that he goes out there and plays.
He goes out there, he plays. He's not a horrible player.
No.
Despite what some people online will attempt to tell you to think. Like, he is he's got some game. I tell you what.
One of the most tragic stories I ever read, this is years and years ago. Hank Aaron, one of the greatest hitters of all time. He was famous forever in Milwaukee and Atlanta, and you couldn't mistake him. Number 44. He had a brother, Tommy Aaron, who was in Milwaukee, and then when Milwaukee moved to Atlanta, he went with the Braves franchise, and he was always just a fringe guy. He played 140 games once, I believe, and then he was a pinch hitter after that. And he was always just on the edge of not making the team, and he often didn't start. He'd be a pinch hitter for most of his career, but he was always trying. So the writer, I don't remember who, it might have been Roger Angel, is writing about him coming out. He knows he's not going to start for the Atlanta Braves one day. So he's hitting balls, getting back BP in early because he's not going to play. And he's really hitting them hard. He's working hard. And Tommy Aaron is doing everything he can on that day, batting practice, trying to get better, trying to repeat, trying to impress, trying to make sure he'd be ready if he was called upon to pinch hit later in the day. And among the early arrivals for BP was a lady who was sitting alone and knitting. And she looked up and she saw him hitting the ball and she says, "Hit another one, Hank." And that's maybe the saddest story in baseball I've ever heard. And I've always remembered that story because a guy like Bronny, he probably is never going to be appreciated the way, he would be if he had a different name. But he loves the sport enough. And I know you can say, well, the only reason he's there, but he's there and he's playing. And I give him credit for it. And I'll always cheer for him for that reason. In sports, you can cheer for people for reasons other than laundry. They don't have to play for your team for you to appreciate them.
It's a great point.
Well, I'm just saying,
Fair point.
One of my favorite players of all time is Vladdy Guerrero Sr.
Mm-hmm.
And so when Vladdy Jr. came up, I was like, I was so happy he was really good.
Yeah, me too.
Because I loved Vlad. Like Vladdy would hit a ball, Vladdy Sr., you'd throw it at his shoe tops and he'd hit it out. He was like the best bad ball hitter since Manny Sanguian. And so when Vladdy Jr. came up and like he's this size and they're like, he's a third baseman. I'm like, oh, they're going to ruin him. But he's got and he's starting to hit again. Thank God.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do worry about him. He's such a big personality. But I was asked yesterday what kind of chances the Jays have to make the playoffs. And I said none. That's fair?
I would probably say that's fair.
Yeah.
There'd have to be an ultimate collapse in the AL East for them to make it.
And the Bo Sox are taking off a little bit. So
yeah.
It's Tampa Bay, Yankees, and Boston right now. So I don't know.
And that's just a tough crowd. I don't see Tampa fading.
No.
Junior's just having a heck of a season.
And Declan's not interested in baseball because Ellie's Cincinnati Reds are struggling.
Ellie's playing well, though.
Yeah,
Ellie's playing
Ellie
well.
is playing. He's having himself a season.
What I like about him is that Francona's he's got him a little more disciplined at the plate, and he's running a little less sparingly, but he's healthy, right, or healthier. And he's a great ball player, man.
Heck of a defender.
He's a really, really great ball player. I think he might be better in his 30s than he is being in his 20s.
He needs to grow up a little, but yeah.
Oh, well, everybody does it. You give me when I'm that age $60 million, and I might not make it to the ballpark. Greater Man Jay, good day, Lowetide. Yesterday, I really like the mentioning of McMillan and Wife. It was before my time, but as a teenager and early adult, I became a huge fan of the show. It made me go do some research about it yesterday. There you go. It was a great show. I enjoyed McMillan and Wife. Banachek, McLeod, Colombo, McMillan and Wife, Snoop Sisters. You don't know.
Snoop Sisters. I have no idea what you're talking about.
Alice Cooper was a guest on the Snoop Sisters. He sang Sick Things. They were disgusted. What's your favorite detective or mystery show on television?
Like right now or
ever?
Oh God, that's a good one. I mean, there's some to choose from. I watched NCIS with my mom every day when I was in kindergarten because it was a half day. Crazy thing to let your kindergartner watch. By the way,
Pam Dauber's husband is on that.
All right then.
Yeah.
Castle. I always loved Castle with Edmonton product Nathan Fillion.
What's that Nathan Pavilion Brazilian Cahillion thing?
It's here in the city. It's awesome.
Yeah.
He graduated from Concordia too. I think 2 summers ago, maybe last summer. Gave a speech and everything. It was very nice. I like The Rookie, another Nathan Fillion show. I guess I'd probably have to go with The Rookie. I might be missing one here.
Yeah. You didn't like Law and Order?
I never watched Law and Order.
Oh, such a good one. The one with Michael Moriarty was really good. Yeah. What about you, Declan?
Oh, yeah, Declan here, by the way. And the reason I'm saying that is because someone on the YouTube where you can see our faces said after you guys were talking about Harrison Ford and Sean Young, they commented, they were like, Lowetide, is Sean Young in the second one? Declan who? And that was very much Josh. And it drives me ballistic when we get confused. Probably no one else gets as mad about it at this whole station.
Well, nobody
as I do.
punched a wall beside you.
It drives me so there's a fire in my stomach right now of just rage and anger directed towards nobody for no reason. But it drives me up the wall. So
because I
Declan
say
here.
dumb stuff and then they think it's Declan and he's like, well, I couldn't possibly be that dumb.
No, it's not that. It's just like...
Do you know
that's what it is?
A good friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, I wasn't going to say this, but I will. Very good friend of mine says that he, in the car driving, listening to us, he really can't tell Josh's voice and Declan's voice apart.
Yeah. People have said that, which is why this is Declan here. Yeah. Favorite mystery show. That was the question. Let me wrap this up so we can go to break.
Oh no, we've got time.
My favorite
Scooby-Doo.
That's not a bad
Mystery
show at all.
Incorporated.
Here's the thing. I love mystery movies. Like I love, Dial In for Murder, one of my favorite movies, The Usual Set, whatever it is. I can't I'm really blanking here on a true mystery show.
Murder, She Wrote.
Never got into it. Only Murders in the Building. Never got into it.
Oh my God. You're kidding.
Like I know. I think I would like Twin Peaks. Never seen that one either.
Twin Peaks is awesome.
It's a mystery, right?
So you're a big Riverdale guy, is what you're telling me.
You know what? The answer low key might be season 1 of Riverdale.
Okay,
that was
we'll
Declan, by the way.
We'll take it.
That's awful.
Maybe one of you should.
Season 1 was cold. Though.
One of you guys. One of you choose in the break who's going to talk with a fake accent.
I can talk with a bit of a British accent.
Yeah. Tell you how and all that rot. Yeah, you can do it.
I don't rate this accent. But...
Declan is going to speak as an Englishman from now on. We'll see how long he can hold it. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Kickoff is coming July 17th. Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog.
Much more comfortable in their shape, Spain. Porro. Olmo. It's happening for Spain. Look at those wild eyes. Mikel Oyarzabal. A glimpse, just a glimpse of the World Cup final. 28 pitch. Up the middle, and the American League catches in. Alvarez in to score. Langoliers right behind him. 2-run single, Cody Bellinger. 28 pitch.
High sticking. They're breaking down the middle.
Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out, wolfgmcbuick.com. We have Kevin McCurdy at 1 o'clock today. We have Declinations straight ahead at 1:40. And, of course, a lot of your comments, including a few right now. Almost time for Fenwick's Chris Collinsworth impressions. Nice from Kev Media. I don't know who you are. It is not Collinsworth.
It's Cousin Sal impersonating Chris Collinsworth. Oh, Mike, he's just, oh, come on, Mike. He's just so good. Patrick Mahomes.
It's like you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
Do you get like stomach cramps after you do that for an hour?
No.
All right.
Mike, just Josh Allen, he made a great throw there. It's sort of Patrick Mahomes-esque.
I gotta say, I like you. I like Chris Collinsworth. I'm not.
You don't like us mixed together.
No, just saying. Can Declan just add a little South African accent to his repertoire? Well, his roots are including South Africa, right? Or is Australia?
No, South Africa.
Right.
Mom was born there. I'm pretty terrible at accents. I think my Declan here, by the way. I think my British one was okay. I don't mind that one. I don't like. It's crazy because obviously my grandparents speak with like the thickest South African accent,
right?
And I still I can't really nail it down.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like you study it, right?
It's very like distinct though. Like I'll always be able to pick out a South African accent, but I can't. I honestly, I don't think I can do one myself.
You know who's was really good? He passed away. Norm Macdonald was great with accents or cadence.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Have you ever heard his Gordon Lightfoot impersonation?
I have not.
You will pee your pants. It's so funny. That's how funny it is. And Kojak, he does a great Kojak. You don't remember that either. Somebody was talking down somewhere.
Can I revise my mystery shows if we have a second?
Sure, go ahead.
Because this is, like a weirdly personal thing for me. We had to look it up in the break. True Detective season 1.
Okay.
Easily my 1-1. The White Lotus, which has a bit of a mystery element.
Really
throwing
good
that
one,
in there.
yeah.
And even early Stranger Things. So I'll throw, and I really want to watch Twin Peaks and Mayor of Easttown. So there.
Twin Peaks will blow you away, but you have to watch it when you are lucid because it's weird, man.
Another one, not the Mayor of Easttown, Mayor of Kingstown, though, with Jeremy Renner, his show. Also a banger. Need to finish that, actually. Watched the first season with my brother when I lived back at home.
Somebody was talking about one of these damn shows, and I wanted to read it. Was about Murder, She Wrote. God bless Jessica Fletcher. And I love that show. I mean, I cannot believe that many murderers live in a small town, but she got them all.
Good job. Yep. Good job by her.
I used to love Northern Exposure television series. As an early 20 years old, I thought Janine Turner was gorgeous. Patty and Spruce.
Real.
That was a great show.
Watching some shows for actors that you think are attractive. That's definitely a thing that people do. Been there.
My first crush was on Susan Day of the Partridge Family.
Still to this day, I knew the day that I knew I liked girls, and that was the first time I ever watched Michael Bay's Transformers from 2007.
That's a good show.
Megan Fox opens the hood of the car, and I'm like, oh my God, never mind. Like,
yeah, that scene is embedded in a lot of brains.
It's just women for me my entire life.
Yeah. And yeah. So let's move on. The Untouchables show, Mulholland Drive was a great mystery. Yeah, you got that right. Tide, I think if Deck could go with the old Thurston Howell the third accent, lovey, it would be very fitting. Hee from Hacksaw. That would be good. All right, it's 12:51-ish. We've got a little bit of time here. Before the game starts, the second semifinal of the World Cup, We do know that Spain is through. And now it's Argentina versus England. And Declan, who is I would say he's the expert in our group.
Yes.
Among the soccerish individuals. He believes that England has a real chance here. And what little I know about football, as they call it, is that Argentina is a little bit unpredictable, highly creative, and you would think vulnerable. But who won the last World Cup?
That was Argentina.
Right.
And they beat a French super team.
They did. And so there's a little bit of the mysterious about Argentina. And one of the reasons I think that and this is just my theory, I don't know anything about this, but everybody else in that finishes high are European teams. And Argentina is not European. And you could say the same about Brazil, but it always seems like Argentina is the team. And because they're just kind of loose and weird, I think sometimes they overload or they get advantages that European teams would not. Like Germany would never put up with it. Like they wouldn't. They're just too structured. And so I think that might be Argentina's advantage and disadvantage. So I'm going to pick Argentina to win today. What about you, Josh? Be the tiebreaker.
I also am going with Argentina here.
Yeah.
You got the best player in the world. You always have my vote, especially when I don't particularly know the ins and outs of what I'm talking about at the specifics that Declan does.
Yeah. Ranger Nick said it was Angela Lansbury. I know, but I used her name in the show, Jessica Fletcher. A lot of Janine Turner stuff coming in here. Murder in a Small Town, really good, based in Gibson's, BC. I've not seen that. No.
Me neither.
I do like Schitt's Creek, though.
Good one.
It's a great show.
Yep, super funny.
Yeah.
Took me a while to get into it.
Well, you have to care about the characters, and that takes a little while.
It really does.
Marcia Gay Harden's in Murder in a Small Town. How about that?
Really? I did not know that.
She plays the mayor. I've never seen it.
No, she's a fantastic actress. I would watch it just for that. Murder in a Small Town. I will look at it. How many episodes? Because if it's 8, I will not watch it. It's got to be at least 3 seasons, man.
Ooh, let me check again here quickly. It looks like there have been 18 total episodes across 2 seasons.
Okay. Is it still going? Is it going to be another year?
Season 2 was in 2025. Yes, in May 26, the series was renewed for a third season. So
okay, then I will start watching it. Murder in a Small Town. If I remember, which I will not. If somebody could tweet me about 6:00 tonight, that would be great. Did we talk about everything we were supposed to this hour? Did we miss anything?
Mystery shows, Chris Collinsworth accent, driving in Edmonton. No, I think we hit all the hot spots.
We have somebody very special we're going to interview in the next few days. It was going to be Friday, but it's not now. But it's somebody that you will be extremely interested in hearing from. And we will do that in the days to come. I just can't tell you when. So it's a teaser before the appetizer. That's what you've got. Okay. On the way, Kevin McCurdy, Declinations, also in hour number 2. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. And it's time for an update with Declan Krueger.
This is the Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by elksnation.ca for the best green and gold coverage online, articles, podcasts, and more in-depth game analysis and full coverage with elksnation.ca. Starting with the Edmonton Elks an injury update via Jason Gregor. Defensive lineman Jordan Williams out long-term, likely 10 to 12 weeks. Offensive lineman David Beard will be out a few weeks with a calf strain, and wide receiver Joe Robustelli tweaked something yesterday in practice and was planning on making his Elks debut this Friday, but will have to wait. The Edmonton Oilers will open the 26-27 season at home on Tuesday, September 29th versus Vancouver. Then they play in Vancouver on Thursday, October 1st for the Canucks opener. Well, elsewhere around the NHL, Steve Yzerman out as Red Wings GM, moving to a senior advisor as the team will search for their head of hockey ops. And Anthony Mantha joins the New Jersey Devils on a 2-year, $9.5 million deal, carrying a $4.75 million AAV. FIFA World Cup set to get going in just a couple moments' time here. England and Argentina, the winner, playing Spain in the final on Sunday. And the MLB is back tonight with the Mets and Phillies first pitch at 5 o'clock. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
1440, Stingray Radio Station. CKJR broadcasts from West Edmonton Mall and Wetaskiwin.
Download the free Stingray music app and listen wherever you go.
Say hello to Alberta's home for reeling and dealing. With Play Alberta, you can spin into the excitement of popular slots like Cash Eruption and Desert Fantasy. Experience Alberta exclusive games and get in on the action of live dealer tables with all new elevated stakes. However you prefer to play, the fun is ready when you are. Visit playalberta.ca/Gregor to learn more. That's playalberta.ca/Gregor. Must be 18 plus to play. If you gamble, use your game sense.
You don't just need property services, you need problems handled. HireGood provides cleanup, debris removal, site monitoring, and safety attendance across Edmonton. We reduce issues on your property, keep spaces safe, and take pressure off your team. We resolve real problems for businesses while creating real impact because our team is built on second chances and they show up every day ready to prove it. Visit hiregood.ca or call and mention Jason Gregor for a first-time discount. HireGood. Stable jobs create stable lives.
Canada's biggest appliance sale is on now at The Brick. Stay big on top appliance brands throughout the store. Buy more and save more. Up to $1,000 off qualifying appliance packages, plus take until 2030 to pay with no interest on appliance OAC with Flexity. If you find a lower advertised price on appliances, The Brick will beat it. And check out deals for the rest of your home, like up to 33% off sofas, love seats, sectionals, and recliners. Some exclusions apply. See you in store for details. The Brick, saving you more.
It's cone season at McDonald's, which means vanilla cones are $1 each plus tax in the McDonald's app all summer long. Soft, creamy, and crunchy. For just $1 each plus tax exclusively in the McDonald's app. App download and registration required at participating McDonald's in Canada.
Yeah, it's me again. And if you're sidelined with a sports injury, you already know nothing's more frustrating than being told to just rest. At Leading Edge Physiotherapy, we get athletes moving sooner with our zero-gravity treadmills. You can run, train, and rebuild strength with up to 80% less body weight, so your injury heals while your confidence comes roaring back. When your sports injury's yelling, whisper back, leadingedgephysio.com, because life shouldn't hurt.
Need a new ride for road trips, errands, or just life on the go? Go Auto offers a massive selection with over 15,000 new and used vehicles to choose from. With over 70 locations across Western Canada, finding your next ride has never been easier. Whether it's a roomy SUV for the family, a sleek car for the open road, or a rugged truck for your weekend adventures, you'll find it here at a price you'll love. Explore thousands of vehicles today at goauto.ca.
Photographers, start your cameras. Vision Credit Union's annual photo contest is back. We're asking you to show us the people, places, and moments that made you glad you chose this rural life. Maybe it's the view from your farm, a walk down Main Street, neighbors pitching in, a weekend at the rodeo, or a sunset down a back road. Share your photo to show why life in rural Alberta is a choice worth celebrating. Enter and vote at whatsyourshare.ca.
Breaking down the fine art of sports.
One rep at a time.
The Lowdown
with Lowetide.
Thanks for checking out Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
This is the Lowdown on Sports 1440 for Wolf GMC Buick. Hurry in for hot summer savings, including 0% purchase financing on select models, 0%. Details at wolfgmcbuick.com. The World Cup semifinal, England, Argentina underway. We'll keep updating you as the match goes on. It's time for our headliner of the day, Kevin McCurdy, brought to you by Faber. Cash Flow Crunch got your business on the sidelines? Schedule your free consultation with Faber's licensed insolvency trustees and get back in the game. Visit faber.ca. All right, we're just ahead of Kevin. A couple of things I wanted to wrap up from last hour. The Sinner is a good twisted series. It's 3 seasons on Netflix. I've heard about it, haven't seen it yet. I've also not watched The Bear, which people are recommending to me. You like it? It's a good show, apparently.
I love The Bear. Favorite TV show. You need to get on it.
Is it good? Good?
It's great. It's an Emmy-winning TV show. The performances are fantastic.
Who's in it?
Jeremy Allen White, Io Debris, Eben Moss-Backrack, Oliver Platt.
Okay. Who's in it that I would know?
I thought you might know Oliver Platt.
Oliver Platt was in what?
Jamie Lee Curtis is in it.
Oh, hello. Love Jamie Lee Curtis.
Not starting until season 2, but she's in it.
Okay.
John Bernthal, do you know who that is? Come on, man. Let me tell you something, man. You don't know him?
Maybe I do if I saw his
Bob
face.
Odenkirk.
I got to
He's in a
see the
couple
people's
episodes.
faces, but I know Jamie Lee Curtis.
Yeah.
I liked her. And she was in a lot of scary movies as a young person.
That she was.
Yeah.
Generation 2 Scream Queen after her mom, right?
Yeah, exactly. Slow Horses on Apple TV is an amazing show. Maddie Matheson, is that a show or just them talking
Maddie
about?
Matheson is also in The Bear, and he is an actual professional chef.
Okay.
He plays a great character,
Is
but he's also there for the realism, I guess.
Is that Jim Matheson's boy? Okay.
No.
All right. I just thought I would ask. I'm here just for Kevin. He should be on 2 hits a week. Highly underrated guest. I like Kevin. He brings a lot. Of course, he's not here yet, so maybe he doesn't bring a lot today. At what point do we, just suggest he might be tardy and then move on? Is there a point? It's like a date, right? You go on a date, you sit down, they bring you the water, and then the waiter or waitress starts feeling sorry for you. Can I get you anything? Maybe I could get you like some buns.
Here's what the trick is. You wait an hour, they don't show up, you leave. But you keep texting them, acting like you have stayed at the restaurant the whole time.
That's good. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They say they're closing like anything. I ordered some more bread, text them that at like 7 a.m. the next day. And then at like noon, you go, all right, well, I think I'm just going to leave. Obviously, and like if they don't respond, you just keep doing this.
Yeah. I mean, it's, have you still been stood up before?
Yes, actually, I have.
I have too. It's not like it's
2 weeks before I met my girlfriend.
Oh, nice. So you the downbeat and then the uprising.
Quite frankly, I was so dejected. I had to go out for a friend's birthday the next day. They lied to us. They said, "Oh, we're not going out to the bars or anything. We're just gonna have a party at the house." I'm like, "Sounds great." Nope, they lied. We went to Whiskey Barn, and I was so dejected that I left early. I was like, "I'm going home," and just like I'm gonna keep sitting like that Pablo Escobar meme, where he sits out all the time. But my buddy was outside, and he said, "Well, let's go for beers." I forgot, and we ended up going the next week, and thus I ended up going to the casino and meeting Nyla.
Yeah, there you go.
Butterfly effect, baby.
I think it's a character builder, and you learn to confirm.
Oh, it was
I'm definitely going to be here. Okay. All right. I'm not even going to ask Declan because I know he's never been stood up.
He's simply too handsome.
Well, he's just a good looking Love Island guy.
Pardon me?
Well, he says he's not going on there, but he could clear that fence.
I couldn't. I would like to go on the show, not for any like personal reasons. Just like being on the being in that environment, I think would be such a trip. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to go on you have to be kind of a different type of person to go on that show. And I think generally speaking, we're all pretty normal. So going into that situation as, a normal person,
we're not vain.
I just think it would be crazy to be a part of that environment.
Yeah, I feel like, and no disrespect, and I'm not going to get upset like I did on the British Bacon show, but I just think that there's more of myself that would be left on film than I would ever be comfortable with.
Hey, yeah, that's totally fair.
Yeah, I'm a little more private than that. And besides, my kid would say, don't say this, don't say this, don't say this, and don't do that.
Definitely don't do that.
Yeah.
So, I don't think I could do it either.
LT, have you watched Landman starring Billy Bob Thornton? It's fantastic. Dallas and Fort Saskatchewan. I haven't. Jamie Lee Curtis in Night Shift, Trading Places. From Billy. I think she's a great actress. She was in one of my favorites called A Fish Called Wanda.
I've seen A Fish Called Wanda.
Quite good. Great. She's perfect for that role because it's a bunch of British hooligans. And then her. And it's good.
Yeah, she sort of weirdly in a way like sort of plays the straight man in the comedy movie, but then also just actually gets into the most hilarious hijinks of them all.
Yeah.
Regardless of what Kevin Kline is doing.
Calling you stupid would be an insult to stupid people.
What's that one senator? I forget. It's not important his name, but he has some incredible ways of calling people stupid. My favorite one is I'm not saying you're the stupidest person on the planet, but you better hope they don't die.
Fish Called Wanda is a great show.
Yeah, it's a great show.
He was beaten as a child. Good.
Little dark, but all right.
Jeremy in the Bears, Robert Mitchum's grandson, says Ogie Bear. Wow, that's a huge pull. Looks kind of like him. I will watch that on that alone. Robert Mitchum was in some really interesting movies that were really outside what you would consider to be Hollywood. People are asking me to check on Kevin saying that he would never no-show. Well, I can say this, whatever the reason is, it's a good one. Kevin's a really good fellow. And I'm sure not a good fella. I didn't mean that. But if he's not available, then there's a good reason for it. And I am not worried, except personally, I want to make sure he's okay.
It's just a busy day at the office.
Well, I mean, maybe he's in some flooding. I hope not, but it's possible.
And that could be it as well.
Yeah. So we haven't been stood up in a while.
I can't even think of the last time you've been stood up.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Normally it's us who are going like, hey, you know what, Lansky, great stuff, but we just can't hear you on the phone.
Well, what we can talk about is guaranteed win night. The Vancouver Canucks will be playing the Edmonton Oilers on September 29th.
Is that a guaranteed win, though? I understand it's the Canucks.
Mike Babcock is going to have this Edmonton Oilers team prepared in a way that quite frankly, Dallas Aikens, Chris Knobloch, and Jay Woodcroft didn't. They were always fiddling with the roster. I guarantee Babcock will know what he has. The last two games of the preseason, he'll already know his lineup.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That always drove me nuts. Mac T would damn know the lineup, you know? That's something that I think that the Oilers, because they have a powerhouse team, they're like, oh, we don't have to worry about that. But if you win the division, you have a cleaner path to the Stanley Cup final. We all agree. You know? Who won the division this year?
That would be Vegas, right?
And how far did they get?
Vegas did actually win. I'm not forgetting that. It wasn't the Ducks. They did go to the final. This is true.
Okay. So you win the division, you go to the final.
Okay,
but the first few games don't matter. Because they finished first. You finish first, you get the easier route. And we all know this. But the Edmonton Oilers are like, I don't know, Larry, that seventh defenseman's pretty important. Get your damn team on the ice and be ready. Henrik Sedin said, I don't remember the year, but it was the last preseason game. I think it was Gene Principe said, the Oilers are still auditioning some players. You seem to be locked and loaded. He goes, this is our first game of the Stanley Cup regular season, or the NHL regular season. And they had one more preseason game. And he said, and that one will be too. Game 3 will be our first actual game. Get it together. And Mike Babcock will. It drives me nuts. What do you think? If you're at the Daytona Dam 500 or the Indianapolis 500 or doing F1, you think the first 2 laps don't count? Jerry, you're not doing it right.
Vegas also only played one Pacific team in the playoffs anyway. So.
They had the easier route. They did. It's just math.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah.
It's true.
You finish first, and life is is going to be easier.
And even then, they did go and they played. Granted, the Avalanche were beat up, but you still beat the President's Trophy winning team in 4.
Yeah. The other thing about it is the depth will be way better because they can have 23 men on the roster. They're going to be able to do that no matter what happens, no matter who they sign or trade for. They're going to be able to do that. Killing Eve is also fantastic.
Great shout. It is a good one.
I'd love to see Fenny on Love Island.
Listen, Declan can't get on that show. I can't get on that show.
Excuse me, miss, can I interest you in some homemade tomato soup from the rig? Is that your line?
No, that is definitely like.
Can you repeat for us what you took over to your now girlfriend's place because you wanted to see her and you just grabbed a bunch of crap because you had an excuse?
2 jars of garlic stuffed olives. Her favorite, might I add. And I apparently bought the good ones. Didn't even know.
Well, she wouldn't have said. She's too kind.
What? Oh no, she told me when I bought the bad ones.
Right.
She was like, "These are too oily." I was like, "All right, whatever you say, ma'am. I'll do better next time. I'm sorry."
That's good. You've already fallen into the trap. Well done, sir.
She honestly wasn't the one to say anything initially. It was her roommate who said, "Oh, these are different than the last ones you got." And then I was like, "Yeah, they're a little more oily than I like."
Just don't say something like, "Yeah, I saved $1.50." Don't say that.
I saved more than $1.50.
Yeah. Jamie Lee Curtis was good with Arnold S. in the movie True Lies. Patty and Spurs. That's true. I thought she was. I don't think I've seen a Jamie Lee Curtis movie that I didn't like. I mean, Sandra Bullock. I love Sandra Bullock. I've seen some terrible Sandra Bullock movies, but I still like them. Like All About Steve. Did you see that one?
No.
It's not good, but I liked it. The Lake House.
Not a great one. Shout out to Keanu Reeves, though. That's that one, right?
Jeez.
They're separated by 2 years.
God, I'm watching this movie and I'm like, why am I watching this movie?
Yeah, it happens at times.
The worst movie I've ever seen is called Prince of Tides. And that one, I didn't walk out, and I did it as a favor to the human I was with. But my God. LT, speaking of coaches fiddling with the lines, can you tell me why you think Mac T was going back and forth with the backup goalies? The game roles got hurt. The game Roley got hurt. Should it have been Markkanen? Damn 2006. DD from Border City. Well, like you, DD, I run that game over and over and over and over again in my brain. And I do remember Craig McTavish saying that it didn't really matter who was the backup. So he rests both. And of course it did, but you can't, I'm gonna suggest to you with respect that you can't anticipate your defenseman throwing a power forward onto the leg of your starting goaltender. I will give Craig McTavish a pass on that one. That seems to be, to me, a little bit outside the idea that the coach should have anticipated it. Just my opinion. And he had a right to expect that either backup goaltender would be able to not make a damned gaffe the size of what happened in game one. Because I don't have to tell you this 20 years later, but they lost because of game one. And that hurts forever. And God love Fernando Pisani because he deserved a Stanley Cup ring, and so did everybody on that team. Okay. All right. Well, we will endeavor to get Mr. McCurdy back at some point in time. And we hope he's okay. And when we find out that he's okay, we will let everybody know because I'm sure there's some concern. All right. This is the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Kickoff is coming July 17th. Elks, Lions at Play Alberta Field at Commonwealth Stadium. It's Dog Days of Summer presented by ATCO Energy. Bring your pup and watch the game in an exclusive section. Get your tickets at goelks.com/tickets.
Expand your brand with Fusion Promo Marketing. Fusion is your trusted partner for all things branded merch and apparel. Thousands of products perfect for businesses, sports teams, and corporate events. Fusion with a Z. Promomarketing.ca.
Hurry in for hot summer savings at Wolf GMC Buick. Take advantage of 0% purchase financing for up to 72 months on select new 2026 GMC Sierra 1500 pickups. 0% purchase financing for 36 months on select new 2026 Sierra 2500 Denali and Denali Ultimate models. Plus, huge cash savings on GMC Sierra heavy-duty trucks. And ask about the $1,000 truck trade-in bonus and low-rate lease offers. Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Whether you're a craft beer connoisseur or more of a wine aficionado,
He's the only
there's
person to
always
win an
something
arm
new
wrestling
to
contest.
discover at Sherbrooke Liquor, a unique, family-owned, independent liquor store. The selection, incredible. The non-alcohol section is also very impressive. Sherbrooke Liquor, expert, knowledgeable staff with a passion for unique finds. More than just a liquor store, we're a community. Alberta's best, the one and only Sherbrooke Liquor. Wine, spirits, and oodles of beer. Visit SherbrookeLiquor.com.
Caesars is Alberta's anytime, anywhere sportsbook. Stay in the action with your favorite teams and players. Whether you're camping, kayaking, or catching a show this summer, bet wherever you are, whenever you want. Plus, Caesars Sportsbook offers fast payouts and flex parlays, a new way to keep your bet alive even if a pick misses. Download the Caesars Sportsbook app today.
Must be 18 or older and physically present in Alberta to gamble. Must be 21 or older to use Caesars Sportsbook. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. Standard message and data rates may apply. Please play responsibly.
The Lawnmower Hospital is gearing up for the Graham Mace Classic on June 19th, raising vital funds for Santa's Anonymous. An event this special doesn't happen without amazing community partners. The Lawnmower Hospital wants to send a huge thank you to Green Drop for their generous sponsorship of this year's tournament. We truly appreciate your support. In Edmonton, when you want your yard looking its absolute best, support the businesses that support our community. For all your lawn care needs, trust Green Drop.
Painstaking to breaking down the middle. Here's the Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
Lowdown on Sports 1440. We're 21 minutes into the World Cup semi. No score yet. We're brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. We have declination straight ahead. I feel like having tomato soup now. We talked about tomato soup. There was a restaurant called Cafe Select years ago in Edmonton, and they made the best tomato soup.
Interesting. Not as good as me, but that's nice of them to try.
What do you do to your tomato soup to make it so special?
Extra love, of course. No, like it's one that I did get like offline, but it is something
You
fierce.
got it offline or online?
I got it online, but I took it off. I took it off the web. You know what I mean? Anyways,
sure I do now.
It's delicious. There, you throw brown sugar in there.
Interesting.
The right herbs and spices, a bunch of crushed tomatoes,
pepper.
Yeah, I'll put some pepper in it. And then I'll obviously, it's technically a bisque, but I throw bacon in there. It's delicious.
So this is more of a meal than your average tomato soup then.
Correct.
Yeah, sounds good.
But if you cook the bacon in the pot before you make the soup, you get a little extra.
Well, you've got to, because you can't put all the grease of the bacon in there. Got to cook it and then take a towel.
No. Because then you put in onions and you put in garlic and you saute them in the bacon. and then you put everything else in. You stir it, get it heated up, and then you put it in the blender to make it smooth.
Sir,
Because I can't work an immersion blender for whatever reason. It makes too much of a mess.
Sir, you've been lying to us. This isn't tomato soup. This is
it's tomato bisque.
It's a very, very good recipe. This is I command you to make this.
It's not like, yeah, what? You think I was just heating it up outside of a can?
No, I wanted to know what you were putting in tomato soup, and this is not even tomato soup.
Sure it is, because you blend it up. Well, it's technically, like I said, technically a bisque. Because
it's not tomato soup. It is tomato soup, except it's a bisque.
Except bisque and soup are the same thing.
What about dill pickle soup, boys? Let's get that ripping from Grazer.
Absolutely not. Thanks, though.
Tomato soup when it's 30 degrees out? Montana to rice. Especially in this economy.
I'm not making it, and that is a winter meal.
But tomato soup is damn good, folks.
Yeah.
You don't have to go to lengths of bisque boy over here, but you can just make tomato soup and it's good. And if you have a grilled cheese sandwich, yeah.
That's the other addition to this thing, the grilled cheese. We're not just throwing Kraft Selects on on some Dempsters here.
This is for our friend Declan Krueger, Brit from Stony, saying, "What's with all the pink today?"
Don't really have an answer. I forget what I was typing in, but then something made me think of Sober by Pink. And then that last break there, I just needed a song. Pink, Pink was on the brain, so I went with another one. I'll switch it up for the last song, but
right. Well, it's okay.
No rhyme or reason. Sometimes things just happen.
What was the opener of this hour?
Of this hour?
Yeah.
Of this hour, it was Sober by Pink. And then that last break was Who Knew by Pink.
I have an important update.
Yes.
Kevin McCurdy is in fact alive. He said he owes us all an apology. He completely lost track of what day it was. Never mind time. Happens to us all in summer.
Yeah, don't worry about it, Kevin. It's fine.
Easy fix. We can surely get him on tomorrow, correct?
Yeah, exactly.
Perfect.
We have, as a matter of fact, our friend Bag Milk is unavailable. He's got corporate meetings. No, Bag Milk is unavailable. So if he's amenable, we will have Mr. McCurdy on tomorrow at 1:00.
Yeah, I mean, either Kevin put it in the YouTube chat or text one of us. Like you got our Twitter.
Oh yeah, he'll be fine. We'll get together with him. I knew he's not that guy, right? He's not going to big time us. That would be you. You would big time us.
I'm here every day. Oh, McCurdy's in. He'll do tomorrow.
Okay, perfect.
Same time slot, Kev.
There you go. We're going to ask harder questions now. None of these soft tossers, man. So it's going to be trivia.
Don't knock dill pickle soup till you try it.
I don't know, man. You got to.
I'm sorry, I'm out.
Yeah, and you really have to bring, there's 11 people I've ever met who can make really good French onion soup, but it's really good when you make it well. So I'm willing to try your pickle soup, but I'd like to know the ingredients, and I would like someone else to taste it first. If they live, I would go ahead.
French onion soup, it's a toughie.
It is.
I don't make French onion soup. I made French onion pasta, though. French onion soup pasta.
Nice.
That was delicious.
Yeah. Of course, pasta. I mean, honestly, some mud and a little bit of cheese, and you're good with pasta. It's so good.
Yeah.
I love pasta.
I can't cook fettuccine, though, for the life of me. It's just too raw on one end every time.
Is it the name? It kind of screws you up.
The fettuccine?
Yeah.
No.
Grazer says, I make the best French onion soup, Lowetide. Well, cool. I'm going to say bring some by, but then you will. And we don't really have the facility for that. So,
That's a great text, Aaron. LT, the folks at Gaviscon love tomato soup. MTR, yes, I can actually cook. This is not a bit.
No, his dad's a really good cook. And so I'm sure that he's picked up a few pointers from dad. And I am telling you that ladies like the guys who can actually make something that's not only edible, but good.
Yeah, it's not that hard. It's really not.
Well, you need to do it more than once, though, and experiment and then figure out what works. Riggs says beef, potatoes, barley, dill pickles, and various spices. Well, that sounds like a damn good meal. That's a hearty one. That's what you have when you come back from the field when you're harvesting. Al, you're overpaying this helper with how he turns a $2 soup and sandwich into a $30 meal. AH. Well, I don't pay him anything, but I think he's just talented in that way.
Hey, you know what? We all have different talents.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say I'm talented at cooking. Like I'm just good at it.
Lowetide, you need to watch The Lincoln Lawyer on Netflix. I saw the movie.
Different. The show is better.
Okay. All right. LT, I think you'd like Bad Monkey on Apple. Stars Vince Vaughn. Set in the Florida Keys. We told people McCurdy's on tomorrow, right?
Yeah.
All right.
We told McCurdy he's on tomorrow, as a matter of fact.
We made sure everybody knew that McCurdy's on tomorrow. So I wrote at The Athletic today about the Oilers, and my concern for the Oilers is that, do you remember when Craig McTavish was the GM? He drafted well. But there were some things. He was a young general manager. He did not appreciate Jeff Petrie enough. And they let him go. They sent him away for a draft pick, a depth pick. And they had all these defensemen who weren't great making $4 million. And the first thing Peter Chiarelli did a year after he got here was trade for Adam Larson. And Adam Larson, good defenseman. The price tag was too much, but he's a good defenseman. And really since then, and really since the Milan Lucic acquisition, the Oilers have been paying full price, full freight for players. And sometimes they'd get a player and he'd be good like Patrick Maroon, and they couldn't afford to pay him because they'd already were signing, Milan Lucic. So they'd end up with the lesser player at the more money. And they did that for a long time. And so right now, they have eroding players in real time. Ryan Nugent-Hopkins, Zach Hyman. I love them. I think they're going to have a great year this year, but they're not going to have 5 more years of levels that allow you to play them on skill lines. In fact, I think Nuge may not play on a skill line much this year. So you have to replace them. Well, they've got Matt Savoy, and hopefully Ike Howard turns into something. But why not increase the chances by having more guys? So instead of signing Mantha, as New Jersey did today, 4.5 times 2, and you can only sign one of those guys, and he better work out, better not get hurt, and he better be able to score in the playoffs. As I wrote today in The Athletic, why not take a player who was a high enough pick or arrived in the NHL early, and then you go, okay, this is a player, and then in the years that followed, they struggle a little bit. And you get that guy before the other team, the team that drafted him, has a chance to realize what they have. And I mentioned Matt Poitras of the Boston Bruins, and I also mentioned Connor Geekie, the Tampa Bay Lightning. And I think I would much prefer the Edmonton Oilers to make that kind of signing now, or that kind of trade now, than going after a Mantha or Patrick Kane, or who's the guy that Donovan wants?
Jake DeBrusk?
No, it's a Russian winger.
Tarasenko.
I'd rather they get a guy who's like 22. And if he comes here and he plays well, then you've got him for a while. Glenn Sather used to do this all the time. And it's really a valuable tool a team has. Because Ryan Nugent-Hopkins and Zach Hyman are playing great. And Matt Savoy and Ike Howard are legitimate replacement options. But Poitras is a right-handed center. And the Oilers, the connected media, and the Oilers in interviews have talked about McDavid and Draisaitl together. Maybe Poitras is about to emerge. And maybe Boston is just in that moment where they go, we got too many guys we like. We'll move him on. You got to make the phone call. And I think that's what Stan Bowman should do. He did that with Vasily Podkolzin. So it's not like he's incapable. The Oilers aren't the team that a lot of people say, they are when they can't find anything. They can find stuff. They can't find defensemen like they did 20 years ago. That's true. But they found Podkolzin. They traded for Savoy. I like Ike Howard. Some people are a little sour on him. I'm not. I'm giving him a full year. See what you've got. But I would trade for Poitras or Geekie if they're available. If they're not, then that's fine. But you'd be surprised how often teams are just not sure. Maybe it gets a little tight in training camp where you're like, we like another guy better, and why send this guy down to Providence when another team's offering us something we could use right now? I think for the Edmonton Oilers, that kind of thing makes a lot more sense than just signing a guy and then moving Ike Howard down the depth chart. Howard right now, if you look at the lineup, you've got two things. You've got a sliver of daylight for Howard, and then you've got a capable option in Kasperi Kapanen. He could slide in on the Draisaitl line. So you got two things. You got Howard, who's going to prove himself, you hope, and then you've got a legit veteran backup. And if you turn it around, you've got Kapanen, who's a legit second-line guy when he plays with Draisaitl, but he's also injury-prone. And now you have Ike Howard, who could slide in if Kapanen gets injured. Now, the coach will decide how it works, but the idea is Bowman has layered this roster very well, I think, in a lot of different ways. And I think that if they got a right center like Poitras, as I've suggested, you're cooking with petrol. Long pause in honor of Dave Jamieson. Agreed, Lowetide. Need more Podkolzins. Yeah, he's been really good. I was at an Oilers game at Rexall Place. First row of the nosebleeds, stairs right below us. Fellow beside me got himself a salted pretzel. Only he didn't want a salted pretzel. So he brushed all the salt off of his finger onto the stairs below us. Guy walks up the stairs, is itching his hair, never realizing it was itchy because of the pretzel salt from Ronnie. Well, that's a tragedy. Probably thought he had dandruff the next day.
If he didn't itch all the salt out.
That would be weird to have salt in your hair.
Yeah. I mean, there's weirder things to have in your hair, but it'd be strange to find it. Like, how did it get in there?
Yeah. But how would you recognize it as salt? I think you'd assume it was dandruff.
No, because salt, actually, you know what? No, because salt's still hard. I don't think
who
I've ever
would
had...
look that closely? It's in the sink.
Yeah, I guess if you're itching it out into the sink, but if he pulled some from his hair, it's like, what the horse?
Who's going to put it in their mouth?
What the horsey sauce? I'm not saying he would have put it in his mouth, but squeeze it. Dandruff just sort of meshes and molds and things.
I don't really want
salt
tomato.
is tough.
I want tomato soup now.
Sorry, man.
Ruined
Maybe in
my
the
day.
winter we'll get a Bunsen burner.
You
in
could
here.
have soup today. Be fine.
Yeah, but then I have to go out and buy the ingredients, whatever.
Yeah, and your ingredients for soup are like $1,100.
No, not particularly. A can of crushed tomatoes is like $3. The most expensive part is the heavy cream, which is about $5.99.
How you can tell people you didn't grow up poor without telling people you didn't grow up poor.
You know what? Fair enough.
Film at 11. All right, 1:36 on the way. Declinations. What have we got, sir?
Yeah, we're going to be doing a little Duncan with Declan. Not much to talk about. Maybe where LeBron lands. I don't know.
What about Kawhi?
We'll talk about Kawhi as
All
well.
right.
Second investigation opened into his tryst with the tree planting company and with the Clippers. So
he has more investigations than rings. Is that correct?
I think it's as many.
Just as many. Yeah,
It's as many.
tied.
There you go. Well, looking for the winner next year in Toronto. All right. Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440 and YouTube, brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick.
Mr. Rooter has deja vu. Mr. Rooter has deja vu.
The bathroom is right over there, Mr. Rooter.
Thank you, good sir. Wait, I swear I've plunged this toilet before. It was clogged with a snow globe. Am I living in a time loop? Oh, good. It's just a voodoo doll that looks exactly like me.
Woo!
What a relief.
For a plumbing experience you'll want to relive, call Mr. Rooter.
Craving a dining experience that rises above the rest? Head to Summit Restaurant in the Silent Ice Center, just minutes from South Edmonton Common. Savor exceptional house-made pizza, delectable entrees, and expertly crafted cocktails in a stylish, modern atmosphere. Perfect for a casual meal or a special night out. Summit offers a refined experience where every bite and sip reflects our dedication to quality. Elevate your dining experience. Make Summit Restaurant your destination tonight.
It's dollar drink summer at McDonald's. Sip on a refreshing small fountain drink or a small iced coffee for just $1 each plus tax, all summer long. Only at McDonald's. Excludes flavored and cloud iced coffees. At participating Canadian restaurants. Taxes extra. Prices exclude delivery.
Guys, there never seems to be enough time in the day, but you need to make time for this. Ken Franchak here. If you're 40 or over, a quick PSA blood test is crucial for early prostate cancer detection. The Prostate Cancer Center's Man Van is a mobile health clinic driving change for men's health. A few minutes could save your life. To get the Man Van out to your business or event, book today at getcheck.ca.
No! Canada is up 2-0. That is the most dangerous lead in soccer.
Relax, Mike.
See that, Dan? My left eye is twitching. That's my warning eye. It'll be 2-2 by stoppage time. It's never wrong.
With early payout from Bet365, I got paid the second they went up 2 goals. So to me, it's now the safest lead.
Early payout from Bet365, huh? Now my right eye is twitching, Dan.
Bet365. If gambling is affecting your mental health or well-being, 211 Alberta is here to help. Call or text 211 or visit ab.211.ca. 18 plus only. T's and C's apply.
Feeling overwhelmed by debt? Concerned about what the next few weeks or months will bring for your finances? My name is Parveen Middleton. I'm a licensed insolvency trustee at BDO here in Edmonton. You don't have to navigate this alone. Together, we can review your options and build a personalized plan to reduce your payments and get you out of debt so you can breathe again. Call 1-833-BDO-TALK or visit bdodebt.ca to book your free consultation and discover your debt-free future.
The Lowdown with Lowetide on Sports 1440. Author, musical connoisseur, sports know-it-all. Yes, a man for all seasons.
Presented by Wolf GMC Buick. We're making it easy. WolfGMCBuick.com.
It's 1:40. Lowdown with Lowetide on Wolf are brought to you by Wolf GMC Buick. Check them out at wolfgmcbuick.com. We're on Sports 1440 AM radio and on YouTube. Still 0-0 as we approach halftime in the semifinal of the World Cup 2026. It is time for Declinations, brought to you by the Edmonton Elks. The Edmonton Elks Dogs Day of Summer is this Friday against the BC Lions. Bring your furry friend with you. Lock in your tickets at goelks.com/tickets. This is a great event. It's a great event. Dogs love football and food and the people they're with. It'll be a great time for everybody. And I want to see plenty of pictures of dogs during the game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, Declan Krueger.
Well, and Josh and Lowetide, Declan here, by the way. It's obviously a bit of a tough go for the NBA right now. Not a whole lot going on, but there is kind of some pressing news with the whole Kawhi Leonard thing. And just a second investigation being opened up into him and the tree planting company in his time with LA. And Adam Silver came out and he said, yeah, listen, I expect it's going to end before the season begins. I think we all kind of do. I think we all expect that he's going to be in Toronto with no problems. But something I've kind of been thinking is like, and it's a little weird because maybe we shouldn't be operating this way or feeling this way, but like, does anyone really care? Does anyone really care about, what went on with the tree planting company in his time in LA? When it came out, we were like, what a story. But like, does anyone really care?
Yeah, man, they were circumventing the cap.
Yeah,
allegedly.
No, but this is the thing. They absolutely were. And there are 2 investigations that have been opened up into it. But my point is, when he's playing in Toronto at the start of next season, everyone's just going to be like, hey, remember that story? That was crazy. And that's going to be the end of it. Like, it's not going to be like, this isn't something that I don't, and maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think this is something that's going to hang over his head. I don't think this is something where like anyone involved is going to jail. I think what probably ends up happening is fines for the LA Clippers. Maybe Kawhi has to face either a financial penalty or some type of suspension or other. And yeah, like Josh, you made a great point. It absolutely was cap circumvention, and it was a blatant disregard for the rule. But there's going to come, and I'll just wrap this up quickly. There's going to come a time in 2-3 months when no one cares.
I just want, and I'm not disrespecting anything that you've said. I agree with what you've said. But when we always talk about, well, maybe there's, he's going to get charged in prison. What about the owner? How come there's somehow the owner is above all of this, and yet the player is right in the middle of it? I don't understand. Yeah. Two people made a deal. If there's charges against the player, there should be charges against the owner. And if the player goes to prison, so should the owner.
Well, he'd be the one that ponies up for the Clippers.
That's
fine.
Like that was kind of an extension of what I was saying. He'll take the brunt of it.
If people are going to go to prison on the player side, then they should go on the owner's side.
I don't think this is a thing that's going to go to prison.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's going to prison.
People should start going to prison.
Well, guess what? For the gambling stuff, yes, people are definitely going to prison.
But it's just like, tell me I'm wrong. Tell me I'm wrong that in 2-3 months we're not going to care.
People do care because they want Kawhi in Toronto. That's why they care.
Yeah, like there's not a single Raptors fan who isn't going to cheer for the team because he was taking a little schmilly from a tree planting company. Even though he was blatantly involved in like breaking the rules and circumventing the cap.
Honestly, I secretly think that the reason this was all planted and we talk about it is the tree planting company, and it's free pub for Bob, even though it's not his tree planting company.
Okay.
That's your best reaction to anything I've ever said.
Okay.
Crazy old man talking into a microphone.
I think
that wasn't your best word.
I'm telling you, it's there.
When this all comes to a close, and yeah, you're right, in 3 months or whatever, it won't be a big deal if the punishment is not significant enough. Because
it'll happen again.
But the punishment
the
punishment has to be large enough to really dissuade people from doing this.
And I just say
I actually think that's going to happen. And then we're just going to be like,
but like, how bad do you think it's really going to be?
How dumb are people?
Like, what do you think Steve Ballmer is going to get fined by the NBA?
What's the maximum allowable? $2.5 million? Is it still?
Mm-mm.
Like,
well, if you break the rules, I feel like there shouldn't be a cap on it.
Because like Donald Stern, it's always the Clippers, by the way.
It is always the Clippers.
When it was him, the maximum allowable to be fined was $2.5 million.
Should they just get rid of the cap?
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
Here's what I would do if I were Adam Silver. You
said that with a bit of a grin, so I'm looking forward to.
Well, because I'm doing his job better than he is, quite frankly, and I have nothing. I can't do anything about this, and it does affect the Raptors entirely. But
who are you doing a better job than?
Adam Silver.
Well, everybody,
the commissioner of the NBA.
He's got athlete's scalp. People are walking over him so much, and he's a joke.
Yes, he is. So here's what happens. You finish your investigation. You go, oh my God, we found the stuff to confirm that they were in fact circumventing the cap. Here's what happens. Steve Ballmer, you have to pay the NBA a fine of the entirety of Kawhi Leonard's NBA contract that he signed, plus the endorsement deal money that was supposed to go to Kawhi that you were going to pay him to circumvent the cap. Kawhi Leonard, unfortunately, because you were aware of this going on, you have been suspended for the entirety of the 26-27 season.
Right. I like what you're saying. Are you sorry? I kind of interrupted.
No, I think that's about it. But the like circumventing the cap is like the worst thing that you can do in sports, essentially.
Yep.
Like that is literally cheating. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. I get it, but that is different because it opens up so many avenues for every other team to start doing it.
You're angering the Tampa Bay Lightning fans.
I don't care.
I like where you're coming from. Like I like the idea. I'm all for it. I think it's a good idea. But the thing is, where Steve Ballmer's not going to be hurt ever? His pocketbook.
Does he have a collection of cars?
what he cares about is the LA Clippers. Like, he wants that team to success and built them the Inuit Dome. And he's said publicly, he's like, I paid more than they were worth, more than I had to pay just because I wanted them. He cares about he does not care about having to shell out 200, 500, probably even $1 billion.
Well,
so if you want to hit him where it hurts and send a message, it has to be something related to the team. I just don't know how that breaks down. And then I also don't know how, if you're going to punish the owner and you want to punish the player as well because he was involved, I don't know how you can do that on a fair scale.
Well, I think the owner should pay more, and I think.
But I don't think it should be fine. Like, he doesn't care. He's got $50 billion. He will never care about having to pay any amount of fines.
The league has in the past forced owners to sell.
Yeah. That's interesting.
So what if you said, your punishment is you have to sell the team and you can no longer own an NBA team?
That's interesting. I never thought of that. I never thought of it as being severe enough that you have to sell the team. And but you know what? I don't hate that.
No, that'll send a thing that's punishment fitting the crime.
That'll send a message.
Because I think that it's like when Kennesaw Mountain Landis was named commissioner of baseball, he said, I won't do it unless I get complete control. And they said, okay, you got complete control because there was a big gambling and Chicago White Sox had, won the World Series and Cincinnati had thrown the series and nobody trusted baseball. And so he said, give me full carte blanche. And then he banned everybody for life. And then there was a big stink. And Brady was mad about it. But they'd already given him complete control and there was no backsies. And that kind of thing where you're saying, sell the team, that does send a message.
Well, here's my thing with that. Because like I said, I don't hate
that.
Then
he still ends up with $10 billion.
Well, but aside from that, hold on a second. Because Kawhi was just as involved with this as Steve Ballmer was.
Well, who thought of the idea?
Well, that we don't know. And probably
Uncle Dennis.
It was probably a collection, probably more on the owner's side. But here's my thing. If you're forcing Steve Ballmer to sell the team and no longer be involved in the NBA, are you going to turn around and ban Kawhi Leonard from the NBA as well? That seems a little bit harsh. So that's why I just don't know what the scale would be.
Well, I think you punish the owner more. And that would do it. And maybe Kawhi has to spend a year thinking about what he did.
What if this investigation comes out though, and it's like Kawhi and his agent and his management team went to Steve Ballmer
that's a different matter,
right?
Then yeah, banned for life.
But
because he was the one that actively
for life.
Because he was the one that actively tried to circumvent the cap.
But can you in this world today do that?
Sure, you can do whatever you want.
Yeah.
Adam Silver's not going to do it because he sucks at his job.
He's bad.
His punishment's going to be 3 TikToks with Addison Rae, but I would I'm just saying.
Is that where you swipe left?
No, that's Tinder.
You swipe up and down. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. But I love this conversation. I love where we've gone with this. But my initial thing comes back to, in 3 months, no one's really going to care. It's probably not going to be that severe of a punishment. And I think that's a problem for blatantly circumventing the cap like this.
But here's what's happened in all of our lives, not just sports, but in politics, in everything. We are inundated with explosive news stories about all of it every day. And after a while, your mind becomes mush. And you go, oh, is that a big, I heard about that. And then this other big explosion happened. And then I don't remember that. And what's happened now? What did we do? What? And you forget about it a month later because you got to stop and get, chicken on the way home. And that's what happens with all of us. The world 15 years ago had fewer explosive stories and we could keep track of them better. Now we can't.
This is true.
Hit him where it really hurts. No FanDuel sponsorship for a year. I don't know. It's fun to talk about.
But I don't believe KG says forfeit for first, but then you're punishing the fans.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's
no, but no. I mean, yes, you're not wrong. You're not wrong.
For the Clippers.
You're not wrong, but that definitely punishes the team more.
They have fans,
Yeah, they have fans.
And for taking away 4 first-round picks, that does hurt the team more than the fans.
Well, the fans have to,
Yeah, but if the fans don't have anybody to cheer for, they're already the Lakers' little brother.
I get it. I'm not disagreeing with you guys on that front. But I'm just you would agree that does hurt the team more than it hurts the fans.
It hurts the team and the fans because let's be honest here. Let's be honest here. But there's something that's good. Kawhi is gone no matter what. No matter what the punishment is, Kawhi is gone.
Imagine they just make him stay.
He's either going to be a Toronto Raptor or he's going to be, suspended for a year and he'll be a free agent because I imagine his contract with the Clippers will be voided in this scenario. What was I just saying? Oh, yeah, never mind. His contract will be voided. Then the Clippers' best player will be Darius Garland. That's a tough beat.
That's not the worst best.
But it's not like it's the best thing in the world. Like Darius Garland, and then you have Brook Lopez, or the husk of Brook Lopez. And we're looking at this and we're like, good thing we have Benedict Mathurin. Oh, maybe we could trade for somebody. Oh, wait, 4 years of first-round draft capital is gone. And the fans are like, great. I get to watch Darius Garland, who makes $250 million a year, play 46 games and be like good enough, but not like worth my season ticket price for going and having season tickets to a team that is in LA.
But those first round picks, I think, would hurt more than a financial penalty. I just don't think financial penalties are still. Steve Ballmer has $50 billion. Like you cannot hurt his. If you took $49 billion from him, you would not hurt his pocketbook. So it can't be financial.
Well, I think you make him sell the team. And I think that you take a year off if you're Kawhi. And I just want to say, the reason I laughed so hard when you said, what was I just talking about? I live in fear of doing that every day when I'm talking on the radio because you get inside your head, right? So I laughed hard.
Well, I got back to it because I was like, wait a second. Oh, hey, we're here. I'm still young and sharp as a tack.
There you go. But I don't know the answer, but I do know that this kind of thing in 15 years ago would have been a bigger deal. And it would have had more sustain, and we would have been talking about it every day. But now there'll be something by tomorrow. Cleveland will have done something. The Browns will have,
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy how the Bulls low-key circumvented the cap to pay. They just changed the rules in the NBA so they could pay Michael Jordan $30 million a year. You look at those.
The NBA changed the rule. Also,
the last 2 years, he was the highest paid player in the league. The second highest paid was making $3 million. He was making 30.
Yeah,
God,
he was making 45% of the cap or something like that. Also, technically, I understand that yes, the Lightning were circumventing the cap, but it was a loophole in the rules.
Yeah,
this is not a loophole in the rules.
Gary allowed it. The answer is sports is not perfect, and this segment has been really good and an example of that with Kawhi and Clips and all the good stuff. All right, on the way tomorrow, Kevin McCurdy will join us. I guarantee he'll be on time, too. And Jason Greger is on the way. Please enjoy your day.
This is a Sports 1440 update.
Brought to you by Sean Cunningham of Remax Real Estate. For your next move in the Edmonton or area, call or text Sean directly at 780-265-0165. That's 780-265-0165. England and Argentina tied 0-0 at halftime in their semifinal matchups. News surrounding the Edmonton Elks is defensive lineman Jordan Williams will be out long-term, likely 10 to 12 weeks. Offensive lineman David Beard will be out a few weeks with a calf strain. And wide receiver Joe Robustelli tweaked something yesterday at practice and will have to wait to make his Elks debut. That news all coming down from Jason Greger. The Oilers will open the 26-27 season at home on Tuesday, September 29th versus Vancouver. They will then play in Vancouver on Thursday, October 1st for the Canucks home opener. Edmonton Elks have added American defensive lineman Carmen Bastone to the practice roster, the team announced today. And across the leagues in the NHL, Steve Yzerman out as Red Wings GM, moving to a senior advisor as the team searches for the head of hockey ops. And Anthony Mantha has joined the New Jersey Devils on a 2-year, $9.5 million deal. I'm Declan Krueger. This has been a Sports 1440 update.
Your business in partnership with Prairie's Can. The Alberta Chambers of Commerce is helping businesses explore new opportunities, new markets, and build connections through organized trade missions across Canada. Find the right mission for you at abchamber.ca/trade missions.
Sports